What are some podcasting tips that you would give to a brand new solo podcaster? This isn't actually plugged in. I just thought it looked more legit, right? Like I almost look like I'm interviewing someone. No, I'm not a news anchor. I don't know. It's not plugged into anything. I actually don't even know where the end of the cord is. But today we're going to talk about some solo podcast recording tips for you brand new solo podcaster, because I want to make sure that you're doing things right. So let's get right to it. Hey there, Krystal here. I hope that you're having a fantastic week wherever you are in the world today. But I wanted to really hone in on you solo podcasters, because if you have an interview show, some of this may not apply to you. Some of it might, but don't get me wrong. Everything that we talk about here applies to podcasting, but I'm specifically talking to my solo podcasters, even more so if you're just getting started, because I'm going to talk about some basic mic setup that could be really helpful, especially when you're just getting started. I'm holding this up like it's not plugged into anything, you guys. I'm like, this is very sentimental to me. This was my very first podcast microphone that I got. It's so cute, right? It's so little. I'll link to it in the video description below, but I love this microphone. It was like $20 a microphone, and it worked like a beast for the first 40 some odd episodes that I used it. It was incredible. But I wanted to show you just some basic mic technique. That way you could make sure you're getting the highest quality audio from your podcast. So first and foremost, make sure that you don't move it around actually a lot whenever you're recording for this demonstration. This is terrible. I should have mounted it, put it up somewhere. But my actual microphone that I use to record is on a boom arm, and it's on my desk, and it's a whole thing. You can actually see I set up my boom arm in this video, and then I showed you how to use your Blue Yeti settings right here in this video. So check those out. Make sure you don't miss those, because they can help you immensely whenever it comes to actually setting up your mic. But the reason why I wanted to go over this one is because there's no settings. There's nothing. You plug this bad boy in and you're good to go. So for basic mic technique with a solo podcast, you want to make sure that you are, and I love this analogy that we use in the podcasting world. It's the karate chop. Wow, 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 wow. Like chopping. Imagine Kung Fu Panda, right? You see Jack Black. Whoa! No, terrible. Stop it now, please. Karate chop. You want to make sure that your mouth is a karate chop distance from your microphone. So it doesn't need to be right here. Even if you think you are Beyonce when you are podcasting, you are in fact not Beyonce whenever you're podcasting. So it doesn't need to be right up against your mouth. It needs to be a comfortable distance so you don't have a lot of plosive noises whenever you're speaking, which is very important whenever you have a podcast called the Proffitt podcast, and it has those boom, boom, some bomb dropping noises or something, where it's really loud. Yeah, you don't want that to happen. So don't get too close to your microphone. Make sure it's at a comfortable distance. And if you're loud like me, you could probably move it back even just a little bit more, because us loud people, we got to turn that volume down just a little bit, just a hair, because we are too much for some people. The next tip I want to share with you is to confidently talk into your microphone. I don't want you getting behind the mic and then you're like, okay, what do I say? What was I talking about? What did I need to? No. I want you to go into recording your podcast with a plan. And if you need, there's videos all right here for formatting and doing, setting everything up correctly for a solo podcast. But I want to make sure that you speak into your microphone with confidence, because that's what we're attracted to. That's the thing that we want to listen to. We don't want to listen to someone who's really confused and wondering, is this the right thing? Is this what I'm supposed to say? Does this even make sense to anybody? No, I would not listen to that for even a hot second. It would not work out for me as a podcast listener, so I'm pretty sure it's not going to work for your potential audience either. So whenever you show up to podcast, I want you to speak confidently into the microphone. Speak with confidence. And if you need some help, I actually have a podcast episode right here that is all about, like, you hate the sound of your voice. It's okay. I have another podcast episode that's about showing up like an expert, like a pro, even when you're not. So if you need help with that, make sure you go check out these podcast episodes because they will help you speak more confidently into the microphone. The other tip I want to give you for solo podcasting is when you're recording and you mess up, you have a brain fart, you forget what you were talking about, you get lost in another direction, like there's, a crazy noise in the background. It's okay. Pause. A little bit of time. You don't have to pause forever, but take a good long pause because when you go back to edit your audio, you can actually physically see on the screen where you messed up. I have a friend of mine who whenever she told me, she was like, well, whenever I mess up, I clap. That way she can see the lines like, oh, that's where I messed up. I can go like jump to that and fix it. But if you mess up, do something to where you realize, oh, I don't want to go searching for this one little hiccup, this one little mistake that I made in the entire 30-minute, hour-long podcast episode, however long it is. You do not want to go searching for this little bitty blip because you didn't stop, right? Because you didn't make it noticeable. So that is one of my most important recording tips is please make sure that at least you, if you have an editor, even better, let them deal with it. But make sure that you know where you messed up and then just keep going because you're going to mess up. I still mess up all the time. It's totally fine. You just have to keep going. I want you to comment below and tell me what your podcast is all about because I love supporting my other solo podcasters out there and I want to give you a shout out in one of our upcoming videos. So make sure you comment below, tell me what your podcast name is, tell me who you're talking to, and tell me all the things, but comment below. Okay, let's get back to the video. And my last tip for you solo podcasters is if you mess up, don't be afraid to scrap it all. And I know, I normally I don't say just throw it all in the trash, throw it all away. But if you mess up, you don't have to put something out there that you're not in love with. I actually sat down to record this video today with the full intention of talking about something else and recording an entirely different video, which you'll see. It'll come. It's coming. It's still coming. But I didn't want to record it today. I didn't force myself to do it. I just simply adjusted it. And the same has happened so many times. So many times I have sat down to record my podcast and I start going and then I mess up. And then I'm like, none of this makes sense. No one is going to follow along with the things that I'm saying, the way that I'm saying them. No one's going to get it. So I have done a full select all, delete, and it's gone. And that's okay. That's okay. So don't feel like you have to put out mediocre content just because you have to put it out. I do want you to be consistent. Don't get me wrong. It's one of my principles. One of the things around here, value, consistency, super, super important. But if you feel like it's total crap, don't be afraid to scrap it and start all over. Start all over, you guys. I do this all the time. So don't be afraid to scrap something if you are not happy with it. But those are all my tips today for you solo podcasters. Hit the thumbs up if you found this video helpful. Make sure you subscribe below. That way you don't miss our future podcasting videos that we put out every single week. Make sure you check out these other videos right here that are all about podcasting because that is what we love to talk about here on this channel. And remember, keep it up. We all have to start somewhere.